Hi, my name is Atif and welcome to 7th part of Real Estate App Development series. In this part, we will design and implement profile including preferences of logged in user. So let's start by opening the project in Android Studio and open the main activity class because we need to do some changes in this class, which are user can only open the chats, favorite and profile screen if logged in. For that, we will create a condition if FirebaseAuth dot current user double equal to null, and this condition will be called if user is not logged in. In that case, we will show a message to user myutils.toast, and this requires two parameters. First parameter is the context and second parameter is the message we want to show, and the message is login required. We will also return the value of false, so when user click this item, it will not become selected and just show message in toast. After that, we will create an else statement which will be called if user is logged in, and in that case we will return the value true to allow this menu item to be selected when clicked. Now we will copy this condition and paste this condition in item favorite, copy and paste in item favorite. Similarly, we will also copy the same condition in item profile. Paste the condition here. And in the end of when statement, we also need to create an else statement, which will be called if no menu item is clicked. And in our case, this will never happen, but we have to create it. And in else statement, we will return the value false. Return at set on item selected listener false. After that, we will remove the true value from the end since user can access the home screen even without login. So in that condition, we will return the value true. After that, come in item chats and move the function called show chats list fragment in else statement. Similarly, in item favorites, we will move the function called show favorite list fragment to else statement. And in last, we will also do for item profile. Move the function called show profile fragment to else statement. This way user can only open the chats, favorite and profile screen if logged in. Okay, now our changes required in main activity is now completed. Now we will start designing our profile screen. And for that we will open the fragment profile.xml file that is available in layout folder. After opening the fragment profile.xml file, we will replace the frame layout with scroll view. Inside this scroll view, we will create a linear layout. Width will be match parent and height will be wrap content. Orientation of the linear layout will be vertical, and in this linear layout we will create a custom toolbar, and for that we will create a relative layout. Width will be match parent and height will be 160 dp. After setting the width and height, we will set the ID of this toolbar, ID toolbar relative layout. And we also need to set the background image of this toolbar, which is available in drivable folder with name toolbar bg02. Inside this relative layout, to show the profile image of logged in user, we are going to create shapeable image view with width and height 70 dp. After that, we will show a profile icon in this image view using the source property, and that icon is available in drivable folder with name person black. We also need to set the ID of this image view, and the ID will be profile image view. After that, we will set a background color to this image view, and instead of specifying fixed color as a background, we will apply dynamic color using question mark attribute color on primary. So background color of the image will be changed according to the selected theme of device. After that, we will apply a scale property to this image view, and property will be center crop. We also need to format the shape of image view to circle, and for that we will use the property shape appearance overlay, and we already have created a style in styles.xml file with name image style circle. Now to give equal margin from top and bottom, we will use the property layout margin vertical with value of 15 dp. To show this image view in center horizontal of this relative layout, we have used the property layout center horizontal with value of true. Now we need to show the name of logged in user. For that we have created a text view with width and height wrap content, and ID of this text view will be full name text view. After that, instead of specifying a fixed size to this text view, we will apply a style to this text view using the property style, and this style will be title medium, which is part of material 3 theme. Now to show a random name that will only preview in XML file, we will create text using tools instead of Android. And as a value of text, we will pass add tools sample full name. After that, we will place this text view below our profile image view. We also need to place this text view in center horizontal of this relative layout using property layout center horizontal with value of true. After that, we will use the property text color to apply a dynamic color to this text view using question mark attribute color on primary. This way, color of the text will be changed according to the selected theme of device. Our toolbar UI is now completed. Now we are going to create another relative layout with width match parent and height wrap content. Padding of this relative layout will be 10 dp, and this relative layout will be used to show user data and options that user can perform. Now we will create our text view in this relative layout with width and height wrap content. Since we are going to show email label in this text view, so ID of this text view will be email label TV. We will use the style property to set a style to this text view, and the style is label large, which is part of material 3 theme. Margin from top will be 10 dp, and now we will set the text to this text view, that is email. Now we will create another text view to show the actual email of logged in user. Text view width will be wrap content, and height will also be wrap content. Since we need to show email in this text view, then ID of this text view will be email text view. After that, we need to set the style to this text view using the property style, and the style is body small. Now it's time to set the text to this text view, and we will use the same technique that we have used for full name. That is, we will use tools instead of Android to set text, and we will show sample email, and this email will only show in layout preview. After that, we will set the margin from top 10 dp, and we also need to place this text view in end of this relative layout using the property layout align parent and with value of true. Now we need to show the phone number of user, and instead of writing the same code again, we will copy it and paste it after the email text view. After pasting the code of these text views, we will change the ID of email label TV to phone label TV. After changing the ID, we also need to change the text to phone. After that, we will place this text view below the email label TV using the property layout below and pass the ID of email label text view. Similarly, we will change the ID of the second text view to phone TV, since we are going to show phone number in this text view. And we also need to show sample random phone number in this text view using add tools sample US phones. After that, we will place this text view below the email label TV using its ID. The next information to be shown is the date of birth of logged in user, and for that we will copy last two text views and paste after phone TV. After pasting the text views, we will change the ID of first text view to the DOB label TV. Make sure to change the text to DOB And also we also need to place this text view below the phone label TV. Now we will change the ID of second text view to DOB TV, and we will place that text view below the phone label TV. And lastly, we will change the text to sample random date, and this date will only preview in layout preview. Now we will copy these two text views again and paste after DOBTV. And the next information to be shown is member since, which is the date the user has created the account. Now we will change the ID of this text view to member since label TV, and we will change the text to member since. We also need to place this text view below the DOB label TV, and after that we will change the ID of the second text view to member since TV, since we are going to show the date the user has created the account. And we will place this text view below the DOB label TV. The next information to be shown is the account status of user, either it is verified or not. And for that we will copy last two text views and paste after memberships TV. In first step we will change the ID of the first text view to verification label TV, and after changing the ID we will update the text to account status. Also make sure to place this text view below the member since label TV. And now we will change the ID of second text view, and the ID will be verification TV. After changing the ID, we will update the text of this text view, and the text will be not verified. And we also need to place this text view below the member since label TV. Now we will change the color of this text view using the property text color, and the color will be color primary, which is available in colors.xml file. Okay, our UI to show user data is now completed. Now we will create a linear layout to show the options that user can perform. Linear layout, width will be match parent and height will be wrap content. Orientation of this linear layout will be vertical, and we will set margin from top using the property layout margin top with value 20 dp. We also need to place this linear layout below the verification label TV. Inside this linear layout, we are going to create our text view with width match parent and height wrap content. And after that, we will set the text to this text view, and the text will be preferences. After that, we will set the margin from bottom using the property layout margin bottom 5 dp. Now we are going to show an option to allow the user to post a property ad. For that, we are going to create a material card view. Width will be match parent and height will be wrap content. Now we will set the ID of this card view ID, and ID of this card view will be post property add card view. Okay, now after setting the ID, we will give a little margin to this card view, and the margin will be 2 dp. We also need to set the corner radius to this card view. For that, we will use the property card corner radius with value 10 dp. We also need to set the content padding, which will be 15 dp. Now inside this card view, we will create a relative layout with width match parent and height wrap content. To make the UI look attractive inside this relative layout, we will create a image view to show property icon, a text view to show description, and a button to go to activity to post a property ad. So let's start by creating an image view. Image view width will be 80 dp and height will also be 80 dp. After setting the width and height, we will set the ID to this image view, and the ID will be post add icon image view. After that, we will place this image view in center vertical of this relative layout using the property layout center vertical with value of true. And we also need to set margin from end, and the margin will be 15 dp. And to show the image in this image view properly, we will use the property adjust view bounds with value true. I have designed an icon to show in this image view, and I have placed it in desktop. Let's copy it and paste it in drawable folder. Right click on drawable folder and click paste. Make sure to choose the folder drawable and click OK. Make sure to rename the image as building asset01 and click OK. Now we can show that icon in this image view using the source property source and type the name of icon building asset01. The assets that I am using in this project are available to download and the link is available in video description. The next step is to create our text view with width match parent and height wrap content. ID of this text view will be post add title TV. After that we need to move this text view to the end of post add icon image view using the property layout to end of and as a value pass the ID post add icon image view. Now we need to set the margin from top, that is 10 dp. To show the content of this text view in center vertical, we will use the property gravity with value center vertical. After that, we will set the text to this text view using the property text, and the text will be looking to sell or rent out your property. And in the end, put the question mark. Now we will create a button, material button. Width will be match parent and height will be wrap content. ID of this button will be ID post add button post add button. We need to place this button to the end of post add icon image view using the property layout to end of, and we also need to place this button below the post add title TV. And to make it look more better, we will set margin from top using the property layout margin top with value 10 dp. The last thing is to set the text to this button using the property text, and the text will be post and add. Okay, now we need to create another option, that is logout. And for that we will create another material card view. Material card view width will be match parent and height will be wrap content. After setting width and height, we will set the ID to this card view and ID will be logout card view. Now let's set the margin using the property layout margin with value 2 dp. Now we also need to set the corner radius of this card view, that is 10 dp. After setting the corner radius, we will set the content padding which will also be 10 dp. Inside this card view, we will create our text view with width match parent and height tab content, and the text of this text view will be logout since user will click this option to log out the account. After that we will use the property gravity with value center vertical to place the content of text view in center vertical. We also need to set the drawable padding with value 10 dp, which is the padding for the icons we are going to show in start and end of this text view. To show an icon in start of this text view, we will use the property drawable start, and we have to create an icon in drawable folder. Right click on drawable folder, click new, click vector asset and click clip art icon and search for the icon with name power. Select power button, click OK, and make sure to change the name of this icon to logout gray. After that we will change the color of the icon to gray and the hexadecimal code will be 959595. After that click next and click finish. Now we can show that icon in start of this text view using the name logout gray. Now we will show an icon in end of this text view using the property drawable end. We haven't created any icon for that, so right click on drawable folder, click new and click vector asset, click clip art icon and search for the icon with name next. Choose icon, click OK. Rename the icon with name next gray and make sure to apply the color gray. Click next and click finish. Now we can show this icon in the end of this text view. The next option to be shown is edit profile, and instead of writing the same code again, we will just copy this code and paste it after this card view. Right click and paste. After pasting it, we need to change the ID. ID will be edit profile card view. And we also need to change the text of the text view, which will be edit profile. After changing the text, we will also change the icon in start of this text view. And we need to create the icon for that. Right click on drawable folder, click new, click vector asset, click clip art icon, search for the icon with name person, choose person icon, click OK, and rename the icon as person gray. And make sure to apply gray color. Click next and finish. Now we can show that icon in the start of this text view using its name, that is person gray. The next option to be shown is change password, and for that, instead of writing this same code again, we will again copy this card view, copy and paste. After pasting the code, we will change the ID of this card view, and the ID will be change password card view, since user is going to change the password by clicking this option, and change the text from edit profile to change password. We will also change the icon from the start of this text view. Let's check if the icon is available in driver folder or not. Let's create it. Right click on drawable folder, click new, click vector asset, click clip art icon, search for the icon with name log, choose log icon, click OK, and rename the icon with the name log gray. Make sure to apply gray color, click next and finish. Now we can use the name of this icon to show that icon in start of this text view. The next option to be shown is verify account, and for that we will again copy the code of this card view, copy. After this card view, right click and click paste. After pasting the card view, we will change the ID of this card view, and the ID will be verification card view. Make sure to change the text of this text view, and the text will be verify account. The next step is to change the icon from the start of this text view. Right click on drawable folder, click new, click vector asset, click the clip art icon and search the icon with the name verify. Choose the verified user icon, click OK and rename the icon with the name verified gray. Make sure to apply gray color, click next and finish. Now we can show that icon in start of this text view using its name. Okay, now the last option to be displayed is delete account. And for that we will again copy the code of this card view, copy the code and we will paste this after this card view. After pasting the code, we will change the ID of this card view and the ID will be delete account card view. And make sure to change the text of this text view, delete account. Let's create an icon to show in start. Right click on drawable folder, click new, click vector asset, click the clip art icon, search the icon with the name block, select icon, click OK and rename the icon with the name block gray. Make sure to apply the gray color, click next and finish. Now we can show that icon in start of this text view using the name block gray. Okay, our UI part is now completed. This profile screen will be used to show the user data and there are options that user can perform. In this part, I will only implement to show user data and the option to log out. The rest of the option will be implemented in upcoming videos. Now our next step is to open the profile fragment class, and in start we will bind the layout fragment profile.xml file with this profile fragment class. We will declare it in class level, private, let init variable, name it as binding, and which is of type fragment profile binding. And we will initialize it in onCreateView function, binding equal to fragment profile binding dot inflate, and the inflate function requires three parameters. First parameter is of type layout inflator, which is also parameter of onCreateView function. And the second parameter is of type viewGroup, which is also the second parameter of onCreateView function. And as a third parameter, we will pass the value false. Since the return type of this function is view, so we will return binding.root. So far, we have used the view binding to bind the fragment profile.xml file with our profile fragment class. Our next step is to define our tag that will be used to show logs in Logout, and we will do it in class level, private, value, tag equal to profile tag. So whenever we need to show logs in Logout, we will use that tag name. After that, our next step is to handle the context for this fragment, and we will do that in class level so we can access it in whole class, private, let init variable, and name it as mContext, which will be of type context. To get the context, we will implement a function that is available with name on attach. This function contains a parameter of type context, which is the context of the activity that is hosting this fragment. So we will initialize our context in this function by mContext equal to context. Now we will declare the progress dialog in class level, private, let init variable, name it as progress dialog, which is of type progress dialog. To initialize the progress dialog and other things, we will implement the function onViewCreated. OnViewCreated function is called after the function onCreateView, and inside that function we will initialize the progress dialog equal to progress dialog, which requires a parameter of type context, and we have declared the context in class level with name mContext. After that, we will set the title to this progress dialog, and the title will be please wait. And to disable dismissing progress dialog, when user click the outside of progress dialog, we will use the property progress dialog dot set cancelled on touch outside with value of false. Now we will declare the FirebaseAuth in class level, private, let init variable, name it as FirebaseAuth, which will be of type FirebaseAuth. After declaring it in class level, we will initialize it in onViewCreated function, FirebaseAuth equal to FirebaseAuth.get instance. Now we will get the profile information of login user from Firebase real-time database, and we will do it in separate function, private function, and the name of function will be load my info. After creating this function, make sure to call this function after the initialization of Firebase auth. After calling the load my info function, come again in load my info function and create the reference of the path from where we get the information of user. Value reference equal to Firebase database dot get instance dot get reference. Inside that we will pass the path that is users, and we since we are going to get the information of a specific user, so we will create a child using reference.child, and inside that we will pass the UID of logged in user using FirebaseAuth.uid. And to listen for changes, we will add a callback dot add value event listener object value event listener, and inside that we will implement two functions, on data change, and second function is on cancelled. We will get the information of user in on data change function, Let's start by displaying a simple log in this function log.d. First parameter is the tag that we have defined in class level, and second parameter is the message we want to show. After that, we will start getting the user info, and that information is available in snapshot parameter of onDataChange function. So we will get it from the snapshot parameter snapshot.child and pass the key dob, and also make sure to call dot value. After that, we will get the email of user. So pass the email as key in dot child function. Similarly, we will get the name of the user from Firebase real-time database, and for that we will pass the name as key. Also, make sure to change the name of value to name. Be very careful while typing each key name in dot child. This should be exactly same as in Firebase real-time database. Our next information to get is phone code, so change the key to phone code, also the name of value to phone code. After that, we will get the phone number, change the key name to phone number, and also the name of value to phone number. I hope you remember we have divided the phone number in two parts. First part is phone code and second part is phone number. Now we will get the profile image of user. For that, change the key name to profile image URL, and also make sure to change the value name to profile image URL. Similarly, we will get the timestamp from Firebase real-time database, and this timestamp is the timestamp when user has created his account. Now we will also get the user type, and the key name is user type. Also make sure to change the value name to user type. Okay, now we have got all information we need for now. Let's create another value phone, and this value will contain the combined phone number. Value phone equal to phone code plus phone number. The next information to handle is the timestamp when user has created the account, and we will check if the timestamp is null or not. If timestamp dot equals, and as a value we will pass the string null, and this condition will be called if the value of timestamp is null. In that case, we will initialize the variable timestamp with 0. Since we can't initialize the value again, so we will change it from value to variable. Before showing this timestamp, in members list text view, we need to format it to proper date format, and for that we will create a separate function, and we will create that function in myUtils class. Open myUtils class, and create the function in the end of this class. Since this function will be used to format the timestamp to a proper date format, so the name of function will be format timestamp date. Since this function need to convert the timestamp, so this function will require a parameter of type log, that is timestamp. And we also need to return the formatted date, so the return type of this function will be string. Now we will create an instance of calendar class, value calendar equal to calendar dot get instance, and we will use the instance of this calendar to format the timestamp. Calendar dot get instance, and now we will put the timestamp in this calendar, and we will do it by using calendar dot time in millis, and initialize it with timestamp that is available as parameter of this function. After that, we will format the timestamp to a proper date format and return as string value. So we will use return statement and create instance of date format. Make sure to import the library android.text.format. Now call function dot format, which requires two parameters. First parameter is the format in which we want to convert our timestamp. Here D means date, M means month, and Y means year. And as a second parameter, we will pass the calendar, and we also need to convert it to string using dot to string. And here one thing is to notice, that is to import a correct library for date format class. Now open the profile fragment class and we will format the timestamp to proper date format and store it in a new variable. Value formatted date equal to myutils dot format timestamp date, and we will pass our timestamp in this as a parameter, but our timestamp is in string format, so we need to convert it to log using the dot to log. Now it's time to set the data we got from Firebase real-time database in our UI. First, we will set the email of user. Binding dot email text view dot text equal to email. Similarly, we will set the name of user. Binding dot full name text view dot text equal to name. After that, we will set the date of birth of user. Binding dot dobtv dot text equal to dob. And the dob is the variable defined above that contains the date of birth of user. Okay, now we will set the phone number of user. Binding dot phone text view dot text equal to phone. After that, we will set the date when user has created the account. Binding dot member since text view dot text equal to. Make sure to set the formatted date instead of timestamp. Now we need to create a condition to check the user type. We will only show the option verify account if user type is email. If user has created the account using Google or phone, we will hide the option to verify account. If user type equal to, and we have defined all type of users in myutils class. So user type double equal to myutils dot user type email. This condition will be called if user has created the account using email and password. In that case, we need to check if user account is verified or not, and we can do it using the instance of FirebaseAuth. Value is verified equal to FirebaseAuth dot current user dot is verified. This will return value true if the user is verified, and it will return value false if user is not verified. Let's create a simple log.d here to print the value of is verified in logcat. First parameter will be the tag name and second parameter will be the message we want to show. And we can concatenate the value of variable in string using dollar symbol. Now we have created a condition if is verified. This condition will be called if user account is verified. In that case, we will hide the option to verify user account. Binding dot verify account card view dot visibility equal to view dot go, and we will also change the account status. Binding dot verification text view dot text equal to verified. After that, we will create an else statement which will be called if user account is not verified. In that case, we will show the option to verify user account. Binding dot verify account card view dot visibility equal to view dot visible, and we will also change the status of the account status. Binding dot verification text view dot text equal to not verified. After that, we will create an else statement after our the main if statement, and this condition will be called if a user has created the account using Google or phone, which means we don't need to verify account, and so we will hide the option to verify account. Binding dot verify account card view dot visibility equal to view dot go, and we will also update the account status. Binding dot verification text view dot text equal to verified. Now the last thing is remaining, that is to load and process the image from Firebase real-time database and show in our image view. And for that we are going to use a library that is named as glide. Copy the dependency code, copy, and we will paste it in our build.gradle file. We can do it without using library, but it will require much effort and time. So it will be like reinventing the wheel again. Open build.gradle file and in dependencies section, we will paste this library. Did you notice the format of library is not same as the format of libraries in our build.gradle file. So we will convert it according to the format of our libraries. After that, click the Sync Now option to sync the project with Gradle files. Okay, now open the profile fragment class again, and now we will set the image in image view. In some situations, image URL might be null, so can cause the exception. That's why we will enclose the code in try catch block. And in case of exception, we will print the exception in logcat using log.e and pass the exception as third parameter. Now let's set the image using glide.width, and this requires a parameter of type context, and after that we will call the function load, in which we need to pass the URL of image that is available above with name profile image URL. After that, we will call dot placeholder, in which we need to pass an icon that will be displayed while the image is being loaded. And that image is available in driver folder with name person black. After that, we have called the function dot into, in which we have to pass the image view to show the image, and that is binding dot profile image view. Now we will add the click listener on logout card view, binding dot logout card view dot set on click listener. So when user click the logout option, user will sign out and move to main activity. And we will do it using a function of FirebaseAuth, FirebaseAuth dot sign out. And after that, we will start the main activity using start activity intent, which requires two parameters. First parameter is the context, and second parameter is the activity we want to start, that is main activity. We also need to clear the activity backstack, and for that we need to call a function that is finish affinity. And since we are in the fragment, and this function can be called with the reference of activity, so we will do it using activity.finish affinity. Our code is now completed. To make it more easy to understand for you, I have also placed the comments. Now it's time to run and test the app. So run the app in emulator or in real device. We will also copy the tag and open logout and paste the tag here. So it will only show those logs which are printed using this tag. After running the app successfully, open the profile screen. And the account status is being shown verified because this user is logged in using Google. Now let's change the date of birth manually to check if it updates in our app or not. Yes, all good. Since user is logged in using Google, that's why verify account option is also hidden. Now we will click the logout option to log out user, and this time we will log in using email. Enter the email of the user. After that, enter the password and click login. After successful login, open the profile screen. And this time, since the user is logged in using email and password, that's why account status is being shown not verified. And verify account option is also being shown. Enough for now. We will continue from here in next part.